Computer displays come in all shapes and sizes, from these small flat-screen displays for laptop computers all the way up to this giant Sony Jumbotron display connected to the computer system here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Okay, maybe you don't need a Jumbotron for your personal computer, but it seems these days everyone does one, either a bigger or faster or more colorful computer display. Today we'll take a look at the latest in display technology on this edition of the Computer Chronicles.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by the Software Publishers Association, which reminds you it's a federal offense to copy software, and by PC Connection and Mac Connection, and by Byte Magazine, and Bix, the Byte Information Exchange.
Welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stewart Cheifet, and with me this week is Jan Lewis. Jan, we have a nice looking portable computer here made by Dolch, and it's got a 386 processor, 4 slots. It's got a 120 megabyte hard drive, 16 megs of RAM. But what makes this Dolch portable special is, ta-dam, color VGA display. Look at those colors. Over 24,000 colors, 640 by 480 resolution. You don't see that on many portable computers. Everybody is interested in better displays, bigger displays, super VGA, better resolution. Why the sudden interest in displays?
Well, I think there are 3 major trends that are causing it. First of all, in terms of the bigger displays, people nowadays are running multitasking. They're running multiple things at a time, and they need a larger screen to be able to see what they're doing. Right. They're also using graphical user interfaces, such as Windows. Right. And it simply takes more power for the computer to be able to put those kinds of bits on the screen as opposed to textual bits. And the third thing, of course, is the growth of multimedia. Anybody who's doing anything with animation or video, anything having to do with that, they really need to pay a lot of attention to the quality and the resolution of the monitor.
Well, Jan, today we'll take a look at the newest innovations in display technology, including a graphics accelerator board, the first full-page pivot display for a PC, the first flat-screen color monitor, and the world's largest computer display, the new 37-inch Diamond Pro from Mitsubishi. Now, big screen is nice, color is good, but what about 3D? Well, there actually is a 3-dimensional display on the market. We found one at the chemistry department at the University of California in Berkeley.
Chemistry students here at UC Berkeley still conduct experiments the old-fashioned way in laboratories, but before they get into the lab, many students will do their initial experiments on a computer.
Obviously, there's no substitute for an actual experiment, but it allows us to eliminate a lot of garbage. There's an infinite amount of experiments we can run, and we just can't do it all in one lifetime. So it's nice to have something that can sit down and say, well, these are probably better, these alternatives are better than these, so we can pursue a linear route that way.
These graduate students are using a Mac 2 with a 3-dimensional display from Tektronix. They're able to manipulate molecular models and see all the possible interactions. A special screen fits over the regular monitor and works together with a customized display card to show the 3D graphics. And just like the movies, the students have to wear 3D glasses.
There's a very large shutter on the front of the CAS system, in front of the monitor. And what happens is it flashes on and off at approximately 60 times per second. And at the same time, what the computer is doing is it's putting up 2 images, a left eye and a right eye image, and it's moving them back and forth. And the LCD shutter allows them to be one image to be polarized in one direction, the other one to be polarized in the other direction, and then one puts on polarization glasses. So one image only hits one eye, then the next image hits the other eye, and it goes back and forth so fast that the brain coalesces them into a 3D image.
The interaction with the 3D images is complicated. The students use a trackball in the left hand to move molecules on the screen. They use a mouse in the right hand to issue commands through the pull-down menus. Though the computer experiments are not perfect, these University of California students say that computer-aided chemistry does speed up their lab work and lets them interact with the experiment in a way that would have been impossible without the computer and the 3D display. For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Ken Stone.
If you want better graphics on your computer display, you can buy a new system or you can soup up the one you've got. Here to show us 2 new display products are Wayne Hinson of NEC and also with us Cassie Swanson of Orchid Technology. Jan?
Wayne, we're going to see your 17-inch color monitor. And right now, of course, this is a high-end monitor. How long do you think it will be before something like this is actually a mainstream monitor?
There seems to be a great transition already from the smaller screens to the larger screens with the advent of Windows. People want more area on their screen to display more windows and therefore make it more usable, and they also want to use higher resolutions, and higher resolutions become much more effective when you move into a larger screen area. So we've seen a great growth of the 16-inch segment already, and we think the 17-inch segment will even bring us further to that area.
Cassie, what you're going to be showing us is your board that's going to actually make things 12 times faster than Super VGA under Windows. I'm wondering, what applications are people buying these for and using them for now?
Well, the Fahrenheit 1280 board is a graphical user interface accelerator. And what this means is that it's basically a Windows accelerator or an application that uses a graphical user interface. The Fahrenheit 1280 uses such operations as BitBlit, line drawing, image transfer, raster operations, the same functions that Windows uses, and accelerates them within the video chipset itself.
All right, before we get to looking at your products, let's explain what's going on here. We've got your monitor, Wayne, and we've got your card, and we're going to take a look at those one at a time. First of all, tell us about this new NEC monitor and what some of its features are.
Okay, this is the new Multisync 5FG. It's one of a whole line we just introduced last Thursday, October 1st. The line starts with two 15-inch monitors and goes up to a 17-inch and then a 21-inch. And
this is the 17-inch.
Right, this is the 17-inch, the 5FG. We've integrated a number of new technologies into these monitors, one being a new screen technology, which provides for significantly higher brightness, screen clarity, and the screen is a flat, square surface.
What's the feature? What's the benefit of the flat, square surface?
It reduces the reflection from behind you, so therefore you can have a more polished surface on the screen and reduce the distortion caused by an etched screen. And we're also able to, using an in-bar shadow mask and Litz wire yoke, get much higher brightness out of the monitor than we were before.
And they've got a lot of buttons on the bottom there. Tell us a little bit about what controls you have over this.
In a feature we call ergo design, we basically design the entire monitor around this ergonomic concept that everything about the display should be as ergonomically tuned as possible. So we've incorporated all the controls on an upfront panel area. We also incorporated things such as reduced magnetic fields across the line and designed the cabinet by Frog Design, which is a company who did the Macintosh and the Next machine. These controls give you control of size, position, and...
Could you show us how you would use them actually, Ryan?
Sure, it's just, for instance, the size control. You can see the image on the screen right now. If I wanted to bring that image down in the horizontal plane, I can push this button. Actually, the image size you see right here is what you would typically find, very similar to this 16-inch monitor
not using all the edges.
on most monitors. We've included a feature called Full Scan, which allows you to fully utilize the screen area and bring it all the way out, which gives you more screen area that's usable. Another feature we've done is AccuColor Control, which is, for the first time, it's a patented feature we've introduced in this monitor line, allows you to actually control the color you see on your screen, completely device and application independent.
So it would match the Pantone, or would match your printer?
You could set it to Pantone or your printer, or you know, a house that you send out to have slides made. You could even set it for your personal preference. We kind of set a couple color settings here. There's 3 user settings that are available, and I kind of played with it. You can adjust the red, green, and blue gun either independently or together to control and set up a white balance or the color that you really would like. And this is just an example of what most monitors come shipping with. This is a factory setting, and they tend to have a blue tint that doesn't necessarily work with printers. They tend to be more neutral. So this way you're able to adjust this and bring the screen to match your printed image.
All right, Cassie, let's turn to your Orchid board and tell us what it does and show us how you're going to prove to us what it does.
Okay, the Fahrenheit 1280 has been benchmarked at approximately 12 times faster than a normal standard Super VGA board. So what I brought today was the Windows benchmark test that PC Labs provides. What we're going to do here is run a couple of the tests against a Super VGA board, get into Windows, and demonstrate just how fast the Fahrenheit board is.
Okay, so we're running your Fahrenheit board against a normal Super VGA board.
Right, and both of the machines that we're running it in are 38640s.
Okay.
So they're like machines. And Wayne will help me out with one of these tests. Go to the lines, all directions, go.
Little difference?
A little difference. You can see how much faster
the
Fahrenheit is.
Okay, and of course
And
I take it the Fahrenheit board's on the right there.
Yes, it is.
Okay, just to make clear for the audience.
One more quick test here on the rectangle test. Random pattern. Go. Quite a bit faster than the Super VGA board.
Now, Cassie, let me ask you, I mean, this is a cute benchmark test, but let's turn it into a user environment. You're in an application, what's the benefit?
Well, the benefit is just faster windows, faster refresh rates, faster redraws, text scrolling, everything in every application that you will run under Windows will be much faster.
So for a lot of people who are saying, geez, my windows run so slowly, part of the problem is what's going on the display.
Exactly. And because the acceleration is built right into the video chipset, you don't need an expensive coprocessor that keeps the price in line with Super VGA.
What are we talking about prices for your board and then next, Wayne, for your monitor?
For a 512K model with VRAM, the Fahrenheit 1280 retails for $449. For those users who prefer 1 megabyte of VRAM, the retail price is $499.
And Wayne, how much for that?
This particular
monitor?
one is $15.99, and the 15 flat squares start at $749. And there's a version that has this AccuColor control that is $899.
Briefly, you mentioned the magnetic radiation and so on. What are those features of your monitor in terms of the safety things some people are concerned about?
Our full line of monitors have now been designed to meet MPR2 standards from Sweden, which is the strictest standard currently set in the world. And so we did that basically to make sure to maximize the safety of the monitor.
Wayne, Cassie, thank you very much. Well, the typical application that demands the most from a computer display is desktop publishing. And at the recent Seabold conference in San Jose, we found the new 21-inch, 2-page color display from Apple.
Well, the real difference with this product is its overall quality. We developed this product for the graphics professional. And in addition to its large 21-inch screen size, it has outstanding focus over all areas of the screen, even in the corners. And that's real important when you're working with text and graphics all day long. Also, it's got very consistent uniformity over the entire range of the screen, so that your colors and brightness appear very consistent and uniform over the entire area of the monitor. We've also added in a host of ergonomic features so that the monitor is much more comfortable and easy to use.
The new Apple monitor is designed specifically for page layout work and video applications. Raster Ops also introduced new technology geared to the graphic artist. Raster Ops unveiled a new chip which creates what they call CMYK technology. The color components used in the printing industry are cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, or CMYK. For some reason, they use the K for black instead of B. Graphic artists find the problem in using computers for color design work is that the display normally uses red, green, and blue for primary colors rather than the standard CMYK combination. Now, with the Raster Ops technology, graphic artists working on a computer will be able to do more accurate proofing on the monitor before going to print.
Our customer in particular, who is the graphic arts professional, is looking for a more accurate screen display to match his printed output. So we're focusing on providing solutions for him to calibrate the screen. That has become a real important technology to enable them to get those matching color fidelity from the screen to the output.
Also at the Seabold conference, Hercules announced the first PC card to integrate true color graphics with supercomputer acceleration. The SuperStation 3D card is meant for users who need to display true-to-life three-dimensional models, and Hercules benchmark tests show these renderings can be done in 1/4 of the time as compared to using an unmodified 486.
The strengths of the graphics station, or the SuperStation 3D are really threefold: high resolution and speed, along with deep color. So in addition to being able to operate on or calculate complex models, we can display them with shadow and light in a very realistic way.
As graphic artists migrate from ink pens to digital pens, the quality of computer display technology becomes more and more important. For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Ken Stone.
You may have seen the Radius Pivot monitor for the Macintosh, but hold on PC users, there is now a full-page pivot display for the PC. Here to show us how it works is Barry James Folsom of Radius. Jan?
Barry James, Radius has been known for a long time as being a leading supplier to the Macintosh market. Now we see you getting in with a very nice product for the Windows market. Give us some idea of the thinking behind your entry into that market.
Yeah, it's very simple. For the past 5+ years, we've been a GUI graphical house with a Macintosh. Now graphic user interfaces have come to the PC. So it's appropriate for us to enter the marketplace because we know more about it than almost anybody.
Yeah.
And so we're here.
All right, let's talk about the pivot monitor, which was a pretty clever piece of technology when we first saw that come out for the Mac. And you have the PC version here, and just show us how this works.
Sure. I'm obviously running here on the Windows, and let me show you how a typical user would look at this. This is what we call landscape mode.
Right.
And if you notice, when you're in a word processing document, there's a lot of white space, these margins taken up here. And you're getting maybe 1/3 to 50% of the document, and this real estate space is wasted. Well, simply by pivoting the monitor, we automatically resize the document, and it comes back up. If you notice here, you're now seeing the full page, which is very critical.
Right.
And over 50% of the people using PCs are using them for word processing, and they're looking at a very small part of their document, so they're being constrained. One of the key things that we talk about, if you think about the stereo industry, they say put 50% of your funds into the speakers because of what you hear.
Yeah.
We ought to think about putting 1/3 to 50% of your budget into your display because this is what you see.
Right.
And it's very, very important. Let me just click down here, and you can see we can go through a whole page here.
Right.
Now, there's also, besides word processor users, we also have spreadsheet users. So let me bring up a spreadsheet here. And this is also in portrait mode.
Right.
And what's nice about this, in those spreadsheets where you have a lot of things in this direction.
A lot of rows and few columns.
Okay, this is the way to go it. But most of us have, 13 months
right.
and that stuff. So you just turn the monitor this way, and then you'll see it come out real quick here.
And even those bar charts resize themselves
Yes,
and reorient themselves. Beautiful.
Barry James, just to make sure nobody thinks it's magic here, I mean, you weren't touching any buttons to do this,
No.
right? This is happening automatically inside the monitor. And just tell us what's making that happen.
Yeah, it's very simple. We have a little mercury switch in here, and so when you pivot it, it sends a signal back to the computer, and then it automatically resizes and knows that. And of course, in Windows, we send an event to Windows saying resize your Windows.
Yeah.
And Windows takes care of the rest for us.
Now, you've got two boards in front of you here. What are they?
Yes. This is the SVGA multi-view card. It is a companion with the full page pivot.
That's what's in the pivot.
This is what's in the pivot. This is fully Super VGA and VGA compatible. It is also, with the software drivers we supply, the fastest board and software drivers in its class. We sell this product for $449, and we're really proud of this. And it's fully VGA compatible.
Okay. And the other board?
The other board, we're switching to our Mac line. This is a new board for us. This is the Precision Color 8X and 24X. This is the 24X version. We've done several things. One is, prior to this, we actually had two boards, which we sold for around $4,000. We've now done two ASICs, as you can see here, and we've put them together and got down to a single board, and we're selling this board for $19.99. So we reduced the price by a factor of 2. So this is causing a lot of excitement in the industry. The other thing that we've done is, for the first time, we drive a lot of other frequencies so we can drive other people's monitors. For instance, we can drive Apple's monitor or Supermac or Radius or whoever. We can drive a lot of monitors. So it becomes kind of the universal solution. Not only is it the fastest board at the lowest price, it also can run any monitor.
All right,
Without
Barry,
rebooting.
Just without rebooting.
Yeah. Barry James, let's get to the other monitor you have here, your other Radius monitor, and tell us what you're going to explain on that.
Yeah, we just introduced this week at Comdex. This is the Precision Color Display 20. And we're real proud of this. This is the state of the art. People are starting to put microprocessor controls in here. So this is a multi-sync monitor. So it will run with all the Apple timings.
Okay, we're onto a Mac here.
We're onto a Mac here,
Yeah.
but also has PC timing. So you can also put it to PCs. And what is great for customers is, in large offices, you're occasionally moving this monitor over here, and therefore this is the universal monitor. So you can use it for both Macs or PCs. So if you're buying one large monitor, this is the one to buy, so your Mac users can use them and your PC users can use them. Now we're showing it to you here in the standard Apple 13-inch mode. What I'd rather do is show you what you really want to see. What you want to do, when you look at a computer, you want to look at information. So let me change this to a different resolution. And what's happening is, this board and this monitor are now working together as a system. And I go in here to click on the monitor, and then I look at options. And here you'll see all the various different options. So I'll choose a different resolution, in this case 1024 by 768, and by just clicking on the control panel here, combined with the board and the display, we're automatically resizing to this new resolution. And what you'll see, if you remember, you saw just the top part of this Taj Mahal, and now look at what you can see. Okay, and you spend your money on computers and they're getting faster and faster, but the world's most graphic computer has the world's smallest display. And this is the opportunity for you to stop scrolling around and look at it. And this thing is just gorgeous. This is sparkling color.
All right, Barry James, thank you very much. Well, in just a minute, we'll look at the world's largest computer monitor, the giant 37-inch Diamond Pro from Mitsubishi. Don't go away.
We spoke earlier about the need for larger screens, better resolution, and multi-platform monitors. We're about to see a product that incorporates all these features in a big way. Joining us now is the Display Product Manager for Mitsubishi, Craig Sloss. Stewart, and by the way, don't forget to ask him whether it'll work with my laptop.
What about that? Can I take this monster monitor and make it an output for my laptop?
Yes, you certainly can, as long as you have a VGA card attached.
All right, let's explain to our audience what's going on here in terms of the hardware that's going into the monitor. Right in front of you, I see 3 different control devices. You've got a PC-compatible keyboard, a Macintosh mouse, and a VCR or Laserdisc or TV remote control. So what are you running here?
Okay, these are all connected to the devices that we have down below here.
Let's open it up so we can show our
which
eyes.
are all currently attached to the monitor in front of us. On top we have a PC-compatible. We have a Laserdisc player down in the middle with a composite video output, and down below that, a Mac II CI.
Okay, now all of these are plugged in simultaneously to the Mitsubishi monitor?
That's correct.
Show me how you do that in the back here, if you would, Craig.
As you can see up on top here, we have one analog RGB input with the connectors here. We have a second one attached to the side here, and down below we have the Video 1.
Okay. Now, the first question before we get rolling here, I mean, what's the point? I mean, it's a very big monitor, but why would I seriously need such a giant monitor?
Well, the monitor is appropriate for people that want to do an electronic presentation. It's a situation where you're replacing a lot of the older technologies, be it slide projector, overhead slides, or using static aids of some sort.
All right, now you're plugged into the Mac right now. We're looking at the output of the Mac. Can you sort of show me something that would convince me I'm really working a Macintosh right now?
Right, we can click out of this.
Okay.
And
so here we're in our typical Mac situation.
right, back to the desktop again.
Okay. Now, how about can I instantly go to the PC output without having to pull plugs or anything?
Right, one of the nice parts about this monitor, you can take the remote control or via the front panel and just press a button, and you're going from 640 by 480 off the Macintosh. Now we switch to the PC, which has a high-resolution graphic card running at 1280 by 1024. And you can see a 3D solid CAD image here.
All right, well, show me the Israeli software running here. This looks like a slide. I mean, can you show me the program actually doing something?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so we
Bring
see
us back,
we're
we'll
in
start
a
to
PC
redraw.
application here.
Right, we'll start to redraw here.
And what are the features besides it's being very big? I mean, what else is nice about this monitor that's being exhibited right now?
Well, the monitor can be used in a variety of different applications. The most important thing about this version of the monitor is that it syncs at 1280 by 1024. Prior models of the unit only went to lower resolution ranges, and you can go all the way down to video as well, which we can switch from.
Okay, yeah, so we're looking at the output of the PC. Now show me the output of the Laserdisc player.
Right, if just press the Video 1 button, and we're going from the 1280 by 1024, syncing all the way down to NTSC.
And so I could be working with all these 3 devices during a presentation. Say, have something come out of the Mac, out of the PC, out of the Laserdisc player, boom, boom, boom.
Right, they can all be previously connected to the monitor and then just switched off the remote control.
Okay, can you get me back to the Macintosh?
Yes, it's just a matter of pressing the
This makes me feel
RGB
better
1.
seeing a real computer screen here.
Right.
Okay, now I see you have a control panel in the front, Craig. What do you do with that? What kind of
as you can
controls
see,
do I
the
have?
control panel below is similar to the functions that we have on a remote control for somebody that's standing up by the unit. Go through for your basics of power on and off, your basic setup functions and switch sourcing you can do from the front. It's all digital controls.
yeah.
Which
All right, last question, Craig, and I hesitate to ask it. How much does it cost for this monitor?
The monitor is quite affordable, actually. It's available under $10,000.
Okay, thank you very much. That's our look at display technology. Stay tuned now for this week's computer news on Random Access. In the Random Access file this week, fall Comdex time in Las Vegas and lots of new product introductions. Leading the list are pen-based computers. At last count, 33 computer companies were introducing computers that used a pen rather than a keyboard for input. Most machines are supporting the new Microsoft Pen Windows operating system. A company called NewQuest is taking another approach to small keyboard input in an effort to solve the problem of tiny keyboards on palm tops. The new Academy computer from NewQuest uses keys, but only 7 of them. The keyboard is designed much like a court stenographer's machine. NewQuest says after 2 hours training, you can enter text as quickly as with a QWERTY keyboard. Hewlett-Packard is upgrading its palm-top computer, the 95LX, with a new 3-ounce Motorola receiver that lets the HP computer also serve as a paging device. And HP is out with yet another printer, the new DeskJet 500C. It can print in black and white or color with laser-quality images, retail price $10.95. Apple has introduced an ISDN network card for the Macintosh. It's the first new bus card that can interface directly with ISDN phone services. IBM continuing its move into the educational market with 2 new educational software packages designed for the classroom. Both are CD-ROM based and combine entertainment with education. Each package offers the equivalent of 180 hours of interactive instruction. And IBM has joined an innovative pilot program in Chicago by providing around-the-clock computer access directly from the students' homes. 500 public school students are participating in the Project Homeroom experiment. Taking a look at this week's best-selling software for PC compatibles, Microsoft's MS-DOS 5.0 upgrade and DRI's DR-DOS 6.0 top the list, followed by After Dark, QuarterDeck's expanded memory manager, and Double Up, the Windows upgrade from Lotus. Rounding out the top 10, Symantec's Windows Desktop, WordPerfect 5.1, Procom Plus, Windows 3, and the new 6.0 version of the Norton Utilities. Finally, IBM has reported an 85% drop in third-quarter profits, but it doesn't appear to be the result of expense account abuse. Bartender Magazine this week released its annual survey of tippers, and IBM topped the list as the worst corporate tipper in America. That's it for this week's Chronicles. We'll see you here next time.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by the Software Publishers Association, which reminds you it's a federal offense to copy software, and by PC Connection, and Mac Connection, and by Byte Magazine, and BIX, the Byte Information Exchange.
The Computer Chronicles provides a free kit to help you review the contents of your company's hard disks and ensure the ethical use of software. For a free self-audit program, write to the Computer Chronicles, Box 2954, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17105.